This is the Hidden Wife Podcast, episode 1080. My interview with Dr. Nancy O'Reilly discussing women connecting for good. Enjoy. Hello, Dr. Nancy. Welcome to the Hidden Wife Podcast. Great to have you here today.
Thank you, Lee. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, we're quite a few miles apart, but we're in the same podcast right now, so delightful. Australia is one of my favorite countries. Love it.
A little bit of a distance, yes, absolutely. So you got lots of things going on in your life by the sounds of it, but tell us predominantly what your mission is here. You work a lot with women, I understand.
Yes. Well, we were talking about my books, and the one is In This Together, the most recent. But the mission, it really comes from my own personal journey. And I basically, I'll just be honest with you. When I was growing up, I didn't feel that women were prized, girls or women were prized. And so my journey, I became the ultimate tomboy. I was the tomboy. The boys didn't come to date me. They came because I could kick a ball further than any boy on the block. But, so fast forward, love and marriage. I didn't expect to get married, and then I didn't expect to have children. So she's got a great sense of humor. I had one daughter, then I had two daughters, and then I had three daughters. In the meantime, I'm working on my education. I have a degree for every one of my children. And my fourth pregnancy, my fourth child, I basically said that I needed to have another child. And at that point, my doctorate had to have another child, but thank God I stopped at that point. But anyway, the point is,
might have had a boy.
And didn't need one. I've got lots of beautiful girls. The point is that I realized I had to learn to be a woman myself. Mm-hmm. I had to, you can't really help anybody else to be empowered unless you can really empower yourself first. Mm. So first of all, I had to take that journey for my daughters to ensure that they understood the beauty and the importance of being a girl, being a woman. I had to take that journey also. So in that journey, I started looking around at other women and girls and realized that there wasn't as much support. There wasn't that much of connection, and there was a lot of competition, and a lot of it wasn't very healthy. So out of that came Women Connect for Good. And this has been a long time, but Women Connect for Good. Let's see, it was 2005. The foundation was formed. But again, it's a very simple mission, and it's women supporting other women, their passion, their purpose, their dreams. And so Women Connect for Good has been just doing that, connecting women and different who are doing similar things that I'm doing, connecting, supporting women. And there's also a global reach. So I'm working with women all over the country, all over the world, to really talk about the importance of supporting one another, getting a seat at the table, but understanding their leadership and their voice is key to this world being a better place to live.
Okay, so for all the women out there, very important conversation for you today, and perhaps for the men as well.
Absolutely.
Women Connect for Good. So foundation you've started back in 2005.
Yes.
And how do you reach out, or how do you provide a service to help women connect and help women become leaders?
Well, as I said, connecting other organizations with each other. We all have resources. You have resources. People, even in this podcast and whatever you're doing, we all have resources, but some of us have resources. If we share those and we combine our energies and our talents and abilities, it just increases our reach, increases what we're doing. So really, it's a very basic premise. Connecting the dots with women who are doing one thing and someone else is doing something else, so that again, the outcome is the same, which is, again, our outreach, our awareness is key to what we're doing. One of the things that we're doing right now, and this is global, this is national and global, is the Lift Women Up campaign.
Okay.
And we invite.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, I'll invite you all to join it as well. If we lift, okay, Lee, as you grow, as you improve, and your talents expand, if you lift another person as you continue to do that, you're lifting as you rise. So the goal is we have a 52-week program of lifting another woman or man up with certain things that you can do by words of encouragement, by asking them to be a part of what you're doing. But I mean, there's so many things that we can do. Sometimes a phone call. I mean, have you had a phone call on a bad day and someone calls you and says, "Hey, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. I've really missed you. I'm just checking on you to see how you're doing." It makes your day. You get a note in the call. You get a note in the mail. Which was very rare anymore. But you get support, and it lifts you up. And it recharges you, and it maybe even resets things for you, and you get moving again. So lift as we ride. So that's what I'm going to challenge everyone that's listening today, is that if every one of us lifted another person up, we know what happens. It makes us feel tremendous. It makes us feel better. So it really is such a wonderful, natural, organic thing that we can do with someone each day, just to lift them up. Hey, good job. Good to see you. You're looking good. I love your fire. I love your energy. Just those kinds of things that we can do. And of course, resources, if we share those, and you say, hey, I'd like to work with you. I like what you're doing. I want to be a part of what you're doing. Can we find ways that we can work together? There's so much we can do with just simple tasks every single week, 52 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, it's a good little, I wouldn't say it's a hack, but a good thing to do. Like you said, calling someone just every day and just reaching out to someone different, asking them how they are. Yeah. Very nice gesture.
A good friend that you haven't talked to. I mean, that was one thing that happened with COVID. I don't know about you, but, I really, really determined who my relationships were. Who were the people I wanted to spend time with? Who are the people that I felt comfortable with? Who are the people that supported me? And I don't know about you, but a lot of things changed for me after COVID. It gave me an opportunity to really evaluate who was important in my life and what was important in my life. Yeah. And I continue to do that ever since.
I think it was a very important time for all of us to understand life a bit better in good ways or bad ways, depending on how you took it. When you talk about women not connecting that well, and you saw this need for women becoming better support to each other, what was it that was missing? Were women just not talking to each other? Were they not socializing?
This is one of the things I when I'm speaking to a group of women is, first of all, I ask this question, and I will look around the group. I will look at the women's faces or whoever I'm talking to, their eyes. And the question I ask very, very simply, do you support other women? And it's interesting. Some women will look down. Some women will look away. And the women that look straight at me, I know they are doing that. It's something that sometimes is not taught. Society can be very tough on young girls. There's a lot of media out there that says, be young, be beautiful, be thin. And they get caught up in this. And so then what becomes, the media and what they're pushed to do, which causes depression and anxiety, they're pushed to be very competitive. And this is when I do my podcast, I will ask about the personal story. If I was doing the podcast with you, Lee, I would say, tell me about you. Tell me about you. Where have you come from? How did you get to be the person you are? Women don't talk about themselves. They don't share their stories. And I can guarantee you, anytime a woman has spoken to me and tells me her story and tells me who she is, something remarkable happens. Like I said, you tell me where you're from. I say, I've been there. I love that place. I love kangaroos. I love going to the parks and spending time with the kangaroos and the koala bears. And it's the thing. I learned words like take away, not take out. The water turns one way and turns the other way from different countries. So we learn so much from each other. And some women just really aren't that good at conversations.
But that's surprising to me. Yeah.
But conversations about what? How about meaningful? How about things that are important? But
I always look at a woman and think, women love to have a chat. Yeah, that's my perspective of it all.
Yeah, but what are they talking about? Are they talking about world peace? Are they talking about how they?
No, probably better? Generally day-to-day life stuff.
Yeah, well, how about where do you get your? I'm not saying women are the yellow book. They can share information about everything, But when we really sit down and we start sharing who we are, we realize we're more alike than different. And that's true of men as well.
Yeah.
I've spoken to men groups, men and women in the same group. And when men begin to understand that I'm just as much supporting men as I am women, I want everyone to support each other.
Do you see a big difference there between how men are and how women are as far as how they connect with other men or how they connect with other women?
Well, this is the other question. A lot of people just don't really know how to help. You could say, I'd like for you to help. And they say, well, I don't really know how. But, people, I think generally 99% of the population really want to help. They want to be a part of something special, but you have to sometimes help them find that. What I would find when I would be speaking to men and women, men, when I said that I support men as well, and the thing is you have to ask for help. Men and women have to ask for help. And none of us are very good at that. Men is being powerful, women is being thin and beautiful. But I think once men really understand, such as yourself, I'm on this podcast. I'm here to support you. I want you to be successful in this podcast. I want us both to really gain something from this conversation so that whoever's listening will walk away and go, wow, I'm in a world where people really care about each other. I'm in a world where people want to do good and support each other. But, there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that. And maybe that comes from their generation, it comes from their own family. But when we understand, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. And this kind of happened in one of the podcasts I did years and years ago. She was talking about her book, and I was saying, well, how? And I said, well, Mary, I'll call her Mary. I said, Mary, how can I support you? What can I do to support your efforts with this book and what you're doing and get the word out? And I thought the call dropped. We weren't doing a video at the time. I thought the call dropped. And then this little voice came back and said to me, you mean you want to help me? And I said, yes, that's exactly what I want to do. It's amazing that we human beings have sometimes this feeling that, we're not good enough, but people don't really care about us or they don't want to really help us. But when we reach out and we offer a hand, of support, something amazing happens. And what's even better, Lee? It's so much more fun when we work together. I don't know about you. You get 5 women who really are working together and supporting each other. We can solve anything. We can do anything. And so the power to, not the power over, is what women and men need to understand. Women especially, the power to. We came into this world as pretty unique, amazing creatures. Last night, I was watching this foal be born, and minutes later it's walking, and minutes later it's running. And so I'm watching this little baby colt, and I'm thinking to myself, this is absolutely amazing. But we all are amazing. We're all unique. We're all different. Yes. I do a video every single day, and every day I talk about how people are unique, they're special, and don't forget, you're one of a kind. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Be yourself.
Yeah, hard thing to learn. I think we learn it gradually, maybe sometimes too gradually. So I really want to talk about this connection piece because I think it's really important, particularly in this day and age, and being what we just go through with COVID and that. I think we lost a lot of connection, and we're now more connected online than ever before. In these, I almost call them superficial relationships, where we jump onto our device to see who's liked our post because we get a feeling of elation from that and a feeling like we belong, even though that they're technically virtual relationships that maybe don't mean that much to us personally. And physical one-on-one relationships will make you live longer and will lift you up in life. Absolutely. Sure. So how do we come about creating a better connection, whether it's man to man or women to women or men to women?
Well, kind of what we're doing here. Again, awareness is important, and giving people an invitation, calling someone and saying, let's do this, let's do that. I think we have to start learning to reach out. And, and that's not always easy for everybody. But, once you start doing that, it happens over and over again. You talk about the digital world, and, in some ways, I think it's great because we really are reaching each other more in ways, especially with podcasts and some of the things But then we have to take the next step, coming back together, and people are starting coming back together. California has, open and closed, because of COVID outbreaks. And so, but now I think people are literally coming back together again.
I hope so.
And people are excited about it. Sometimes what you don't have and you take for granted, then when you actually get it back, you treasure it. You like it even more than before. And I think that's what's happening, though, is people are literally coming back, but they're coming back to the people that they've engaged in during COVID, that they trust, that they feel support, and that they want to spend time with. I don't want to spend time with some of the people that I used to anymore. I've got, my time's too precious. I don't need to be, women especially, and I will tell you this, women want everybody to like them. I run my own business. I run my own equestrian center, and some people don't like that. Well, not everybody's going to like us. I think men are better at that than us, but women have to learn that being a leader is also about taking responsibility and doing what's best for everyone and making sure that that's what takes place. I would love if everybody got along and that, that we didn't have those kind of, sometimes the chaos that occurs. But, I'm truly an opponent. I truly believe teamwork and working together. People don't work for me. They work with me. And that's the difference. I think that right now, what we're learning more and more about, we're working with one another and we're being with each other.
Yeah. So when you look at a man, men and their relationships compared to women relationships, do you see a big difference between how they connect?
Well, and again, that's very cultural, and I think it's also from place to place, even in the United States, how men and women engage. But I think that's improving. Girls are. People are hanging out more. They're going as groups now. Whereas there were rules about you had to do this, you had to do that. I think it's getting much better.
Well, what about the differences between men relationships and female relationships? Do you feel that men are better at having those bonds with each other than women?
I think. Well, men, but a man will walk up and they'll know how much money they make. They'll know what their handicap for golf is. They're very out front about who they are. And I think sometimes that's a positive, but do they actually get down and talk about how they feel? Well, that's very individual. It's very individual. But women don't necessarily do that. But, so I tell women, I say to women, first of all, remind yourself how special you are, and then remind yourself to toot your horn. Men toot their horn. They go out and go, hey, this is who I am. I've got this, I do that. And, I'm a Supreme Court judge. You can be standing by a woman who's a Supreme Court judge and never find out she is one. So we women need to tell our stories and to tell people who we are and what we do.
You think women are getting better at that? I feel like women are more empowered now than ever before. And realizing that fairly rapidly?
Well, but again, you have to create leaders. Girls Inc. is an organization, a national organization in the U.S. that really teaches girls about being leaders. And that comes from your family as well. I was very blessed to have women role models. My mother was a $1 million real estate agent. Both my grandmothers, they both helped run businesses. And so I had really positive role models. My mother would get on the phone and I'd listen to her doing her sales. You learn from osmosis. You learn from what you're around. You can't become what you can't see, what you can't hear, or what you can't read about. So again, there are more role models for men in positives and women for positive relationships, and diversity is key as well. We're finding people that are coming together that are very diverse, and it creates such a rich environment, especially a work environment, when people of diverse backgrounds come together and really share with one another. But I think things are changing, and again, this is my goal: is that one day I don't have a job anymore. How about you? Would you like that one day that you don't have a job doing this anymore?
I don't know. I don't know what I'd do, but yes, there's always things I could do.
Well, but that's the point though. I want to be out of business. I want people to, I'd love a world. We'd have no world problems. We'd have no poverty. We'd have education. We'd have healthcare. We'd have no wars if we all got along and we found a way, the common good. Maybe I'm what's a good word? Maybe I'm unrealistic, or maybe I'm a dreamer. But this is what I do. Women Connect for Good is about women connecting for good with men, with women, but boys and girls. The earlier we start, the better we are. Girls Inc. that we start as young. They start young in their elementary years of school to start learning about using their voices, being leaders, and then connecting with other girls and supporting them. So
I really like that point about, women being better leaders, looking at the right role models. I think that's really important in life, to have people around you that will help lift you and help grow you. How else can women be better leaders? Like, what can they do?
Well, again, the most important thing is it's a stepping stone. And again, someone else, getting mentoring is very, very important. I've had women ask me if I would be their mentor. I mean, again, if you can't be what you can't see, hear, or read about, so find someone that you would like to emulate, someone that you look at and go, that's a person I'd really like to learn something from. I had a woman come up to me one time and she said, let me ask you what to do about this. And I said, okay. She said, there's this young woman at work, and all she does is ever ask me questions. She follows me around. I think she wants my job. And I stopped and I looked at her and I said, you think possibly she sees you as someone she'd like to emulate, and by asking questions and spending time with you, that she might want to be someone like you as a leader? And she stopped in her tracks because she never, ever thought about that. All she was thinking about is this young woman who said, she's saying, how did you get to be that? How'd you get to be you? How do you do that? She thought she wanted her job. And so she came back to me later, and this was a great conversation. She said, you were right. She just wanted to learn her way in this company. And, and that's it. If you lift someone else, there's enough of the pie. The slices of the pie, there's lots of pie. We've got lots of pie. Let's put some ice cream on it too. But there's lots of slices of pie. But I can guarantee you, if I refer out something that I can't do to someone else, they're going to refer back to me something they can't do. And so you create this network of people that are supporting each other, but expanding this huge network that they're creating together with many, many resources. We're not alone. Have you ever gotten anywhere on your own, Lee? Have you ever gotten anywhere on your own? No. I'm not sitting here with this podcast with you today by myself. I had Melissa help me. I had Kathy Evans help me. I can name the people that helped me to even be sitting in this chair. Nobody gets anywhere alone. There's a saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go all together. And this is what it's about, is that you and I today are talking about all of us together, that we can make a difference in this world.
Yeah. What do you see? And I sort of have this feeling, and I could be very wrong, but I feel like more people are feeling that they can go this alone. You look at divorce rates and things like that. There's a lot more women and men separating, going out on their own. What do you see as the biggest challenge in the work that you do going forward?
Awareness. Getting the word out, again, my goal is, as I said, most important thing Women Connect for Good is doing right now is the global reach. Yeah. I'm reaching out to organizations with women across the country, across the world, and we're sharing ideas. The Lift Women Up campaign is ongoing throughout the world right now. So it's really about, finding your tribe. Who's your tribe? You have to be very selective with the people you spend time with, because you become the people you spend time with. You become. And you don't have to. Like I said, women, not everybody's going to like you. No. And nor should they, because everyone is different. And so you find the people that you have that unique connection with, And, yeah, people are getting divorced, but people are getting married too.
So what do you see? Do you see any challenges that you're going to be facing with the work that you do?
Challenges.
Yeah.
No, I just continue to do what I'm doing. I've never had anybody get in my face and say, no, you shouldn't do what you're doing. I just get
No,
encouraged.
as far as the work that you do, which is Women Connect for Good, you're helping people connect with women and women becoming better leaders. Do you see any challenges in that moving forward?
Again, probably the challenge is how much outreach I could possibly do. I mean, it is expansive.
But just awareness. Okay.
Yeah, it is awareness, but I'm feeling much better than I used to have this feeling when I first started doing all this that I was beating on my drum and nobody was listening, and I really felt that way. And there were times I was very discouraged and just really didn't want to do it anymore, and I kept going. And now what I'm connecting with, Women Connect is connecting with, and the outreach. Like I said, I'm global now. We're doing global work. We weren't doing that several years ago, but I put that, you got to focus and set your intentions on what you really want. I mean, what do you want, Lee? What do you want to do with your podcast? Don't you figure that out every day? Go, well, I'd like to reach this person or that person, and then you set your intentions. You go out and do it. Did you expect to talk to me in California today?
No, I did actually. We've had it booked for a while.
Well, but what I'm saying is, we're actually doing it. We're actually having that conversations. And what were your expectations when you were going to talk to me? Am I meeting your expectations, or
I had no expectations?
Oh, okay. Well, you get off.
And that's the beauty about this podcast. I can talk to a lot of amazing people around the globe every week. It's a passion project of mine, and I don't have to have expectations. I can just have.
Why do you want to do that? What do you?
Because I love learning. I love improving, and by doing this, I can hopefully lift other people up that are listening. And everyone can share something that gives something back. And you've given me something today, and I'm sure you've given the rest of the audience something today. So that's why I continue to do it. As hard as it is sometimes to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and jump on here and do a recording, but that's what you do. You got hobbies, this is my hobby. So look, excellent to connect with you today. I do appreciate your time. Where can people best reach out to you, Dr. Nancy?
Well, they can go to Dr. Nancy O'Reilly. It's O''Reilly.
Yep.
Or of course, they can go to Women Connect4Good. And then we have newsletters we have lots of blogs. We have lots of newsletters. And of course, we'll send you information, Lee, about how to develop that lift women, lift people up campaign. You're already using the term. I'm actually very excited to hear that. So, it's going to take us all. I would like to think that we're just, again, you and I are developing a connection and a relationship that we both can continue to do what we're doing, which is to create outreach. And like I said, I do podcasts also. So the podcasts are on my website. And I'd love to do a podcast with you at some point, too, because I have a lot of questions for you.
Would you? Okay, well, let's do it sometime.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And like I said, nobody gets anywhere by themselves. And so we need each other. And the more we reach out, and then we ask, not only offering a hand, but asking for a hand to help us, anything's possible. Anything.
Absolutely. Nice spot to leave it on. Guys, check it out. drnancyoreilly.com. You can check out her website, connect from there. She's on social media as well. Her most recent book, In This Together, How Successful Women Support Each Other in Work and Life. She's got several books on there as well. You can check them all out as well through thehiddenwhy.com or Amazon as well. Nancy, thank you for coming on. And guys, thank you for listening. Until next time, peace, passion, and purpose. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. I hope you love what you're hearing. If you like this episode, guys, or any of the episodes that you're listening to here at The Hidden Why, please do me a favor by sharing it. You can share it with your families. You can share it with your loved ones. You can do that by using your favorite social media channels, using the icons on the platform that you're listening to The Hidden Why podcast. Also, guys, if you're a fan of the show, please connect with me. Connect with me at thehiddenwhy.com. I love to hear from you. I love to converse with the people that listen to this show to find out what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy, and perhaps if they have any questions or feedback for the show as well. You can stay up to date with all that I'm releasing here, guys. I do a solo show every Monday, a 3-minute thought every Thursday. I do 2 interviews a week on a Wednesday and a Saturday, and a book review every Friday. You can stay up to date with all that by subscribing to my newsletter at thehiddenwhy.com. Just enter your email address there, and also subscribing to the podcast on the platform that you choose to listen to your podcasts. You can also support the show, guys, by using the Amazon links at thehiddenwhy.com. So if you like books, you can get all the books that I review there, and anything else really that you like to purchase through Amazon. So use that link, it helps support the show. And we've also got a deal with Audible, guys. Audible is a fantastic way to listen to all your favorite books. We've got a deal with them so you can get 2 free books when you subscribe subscribe to a 30-day free trial. So check that out again at thehiddenwhy.com. Guys, that's it from me. You know what to do. Go out there, breathe more passion into every single moment. Do everything with greater purpose, and in doing so you will discover your hidden why. This is The Hidden Why. My name is Lee Martinuzzi. Until next time, peace, passion and purpose. See you soon.